All right, here we are, guys. Welcome back to The Struggle with Candice Thompson. I am Candice Thompson. To my loyal followers and listeners, thank you for coming back to my new ones. The Struggle is a podcast where I would normally talk about things we're struggling with, but since we're all struggling with quarantine and in the middle of a pandemic race war, it's like, let's stop talking about struggles and let's just bring some joy to people's lives. So I invite my friends on, usually comedian friends, sometimes not, but mostly my funny friends, and we try to bring, make people laugh about things that are going on in the world because things are so tragic right now. So if you have not subscribed to the podcast, make sure you do that. We're on all podcast platforms. I'm also now starting to post the videos from Zoom onto my private YouTube page, so subscribe there. Rate and review us on iTunes. And last but not least, if you haven't told someone about The Struggle and you are listening regularly, make sure you do that. Now I'm going to introduce my co-host, the hilarious Mal Hall, who is in his car.
Candice, you must be sick if you gave me a positive intro today. Good to be here. Good to be here, everybody. I'm 100% moved. I'm in the country, very rural part of San Diego County. I'm in a town called Potrero, population 656. It is small as fuck.
Damn.
2 stop signs. And it's a 2 stop sign town. And the internet is not very fast, so I'm in my car, so I'm on LTE with Verizon, so hopefully I look pretty good. My website, malhall.com, at malhall on social media, malhall TV on YouTube, and I just set up my office, so content coming soon. Who's our guest, Candice?
Fun times. Before I introduce our hilarious guest, I'm going to say I want to congratulate you on your pronunciation of the word rural. That was good. That's not an easy word to say. I struggle with it, so I'm like, rural.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah. So good job, and I'm glad you're with us today. Now I'm going to introduce our hilarious guest, comedian Clark Jones. How you doing? How you doing, Clark?
I'm great. I pronounce it rule. Like, I don't even try with the second R. I'm not doing that. I'm not even going to step foot in that. I've decided what I'm going to say. I'm going to say rule.
It's a mouthful, and for a word that's not very long at all, it's a mouthful. Oh. And one of my favorite jokes about the word rural, I don't know if either one of you watched 30 Rock. Did you guys ever watch the show 30 Rock?
I've seen a couple episodes.
So there was an ongoing joke that Jenna Maroney, who was played by Jane Krakowski, she was the blonde chick on the show, the actor who was a co-host with Tracy Morgan. Anyway, she was in a movie. It was like her first feature-length movie that she was really excited to do. And she was telling everyone about it. And they were like, what's it called? And she was like, The Rural Juror. And no one knew what she was saying. They were like, we want to support her, but we don't know how to find this movie because every time we ask her, we don't understand the rural juror.
The way she said it sounded like I could be offended by her saying it. A little bit. But it's allowable. It's like
rural juror. And I think the follow-up was the urban fervor.
That's Urban Outfitters Forever, but Instagram handle Urban Fervor.
Urban Fervor. Anyway, so Clark, we have not let people know where they can find you online, so please tell people.
Clark Jones, find me at the Clark Jones on Twitter and Instagram, and check out Classic Black Dude Podcast. Everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, somebody was just a guest on it.
Yes.
Who?
Julian DeShazier. Oh, and Candice. I'm sorry. I fumbled the alley-oop. You know what I did?
That was your Shaq in a Fool moment.
Yeah. I was supposed to pass it back one more time, like Theo with Dance Mania. Like, I was supposed to be like, throw you one more oop.
Yeah, no, you did not. You just left me hanging there, dude. It's fine. It's all good. It was just 2 weeks ago that we did it. So, long time ago.
Right.
I mean, in pandemic time, like 2 weeks is now that's like 4 months. It's
Yeah.
what it feels
the
like.
same.
What's your podcast about, Clark?
Yeah.
It's it's really biographical, and it's really like I've had all these ranges of experiences, so I try to bring worlds together. So like, South side of Chicago to school in Atlanta, lived in New York, did comedy in New York, Chicago, LA, and it's just like different walks of people that I've met along the way who I feel like aren't historically connected or whatever. Kind of bring that together, or we just talk shit and like you represent. If I have a Spanish dude on, it's kind of like a challenge. Like he's speaking for that. Like with Candice, it was like Midwest and just colorism.
Yeah. Black woman, light-skinned black woman shit.
Yeah, that colorist talk.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because it's a mix of the current events with just takes.
It goes a little bit deeper. You dig a little bit deeper, and
Right.
On the struggle here, we never do that.
Surface level, get out jokes.
Well, here's the thing is that we used to, like before the pandemic and everything, we did. Like we started this because I wanted people I wanted to bring people to a point where they could laugh about things that they're struggling with. Just like, and also to our listeners, it's like if you can relate to this and if you felt or experienced something similar to that, know that you're not alone and we're here to laugh about it. So, but then after shit got real. Shit got too real, and it's like, I don't feel like we need to be bringing heavier topics into this. So I was like, how do I adapt the struggle to this? But your podcast was very fun. So everybody make sure you subscribe and listen to that. So wait, really quickly, Clark, I know we talked about where we met on your podcast, but then I was like, where did we meet? Wasn't it the Virgil?
It was the Virgil for New Negro show.
The New Negroes, and this was the one where we talked about it on Clark's podcast, but because Mal, you weren't there for this conversation, but I thought you might enjoy it because it involves me getting shaded, and so
I'm here for it.
Yes, I know you're always here for it, and I did the New Negro show, and they took pictures while all the comics were on stage and then posted it on their Instagram like a week later or whatever. And we had a pop-in that night, Hannibal Buress, who wasn't scheduled to be on the show, but he also, popped in. And then they posted on Instagram all the comics that performed, including Hannibal Buress, but not me. And I was like on the lineup.
Yeah.
Like I was scheduled to perform. I performed, had a good set. Got no mention.
Like they had they didn't even. Was there any photos?
There were photos. That's what I'm saying.
Of you there?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I get, and we talked about this on Clark's podcast. Like I get, and I don't know if I don't think it's intentional all the time, but I do think it happens enough where it's like, there's got to be something about me that people just like to be like, let's take her down a notch. Let's just take her down. And I'm like, I'm not a cocky person to be taken down at all. It's just, I think I don't know what it is. Like I did a Zoom little game show thing where it was like a bunch of comics and we just played a game, live streaming like as a fundraiser. I forget what it was for, maybe a fundraiser for like Black Lives Matter or something like that, like a month or two ago. Anyway, it was like a good lineup. It was like me, Whitney, Ian Carmel, like Sean O'Connor was one of the hosts. Julian McCullough was one of the hosts. Moshe Kasher. It was a great lineup. Sarah Tiana was there. Literally, they were introducing everybody and giving their credits when they introduced them. And then when it came to me, they just said my name and then moved on. And I was like, and now I'm supposed to perform, and now I'm supposed to be in a good mood without thinking, did you literally just slight the only Black person on this lineup, like, and not give them their credits?
Did you say that?
No, because I didn't want to start off, and then I'm the angry Black girl, and it's like there's so many politics involved, so it's just like you just have to know how to.
That's your character.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You made them spike you. You made them spike you, so you can get into the right mindset. Can't believe this.
Yeah, so I'm like, God damn it. And again, it happens frequently. Like even my manager, Nat, is like, Candice, I'm going to fight for you. Like, because for some reason, people just love dismissing you. And I'm like, yep, I know, but that's my story. Anyway, let us get into what we kind of, I wanted, Clark, because Mal and I were trying to figure out, you're not from LA. Are you originally from New York?
I'm originally from Chicago.
Chicago?
Yeah.
And when did you move to New York?
2013.
And you started comedy in Chicago or in New York?
I started comedy in Chicago in 08, 09.
Okay.
Chicago for 4 years, and then I was in New York for 5.5.
Wow.
Okay. And then you've been out here ever since?
Yeah.
What do you prefer better as far as the comedy scene, New York or LA? Because there's a lot of back and forth when it comes to which is better.
It's so hard to answer because it's gonna clearly sound like I'm shading New York, and I don't necessarily want to do that.
And you don't hear that often.
How do I? For my tax bracket, it was living hell.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
And
look at that. You only make $7 million or what?
Yeah, slightly under. Damn, like one more punch-up gig, and I would have been over the mark.
Punch-up gig.
Hilarious.
Just punch-up gigging.
So LA is just a little bit more economically friendly.
It was that, man. It was just more my vibe of like, I'm a in the house kind of loner type of person, and people are okay with you just being like, all right, you look cool, all right, like, and they, to no fault of their own, New York people like, what, you're leaving? Like, yeah, everybody, everybody had kind of get that, and motherfuckers laid back. I like that. I like that laid back shit.
Yeah, that's to me the biggest difference was number one. Well, when I even first moved out to LA when I was, in my 20s and with no connections, not even knowing I'd be doing stand up, like when I was weighing, I was like, I don't want to get entertainment. I don't want to get in comedy writing and acting. And I was like, it's either New York or LA. Which one am I going to do? I chose LA because I knew, I was like, it's more forgiving. And that was without me even experiencing it. I was like, I have a feeling that there's a hustle that exists in New York that does not exist in LA. Like, I feel like you'll just have more options in LA. And I for sure think I made the right choice. I go to New York now and I'm like, man, I could live there if I was, like we're talking about, like a multimillionaire. You have to live above the struggle. Otherwise it's too real. And I'm too old for that shit. I could have maybe done that in my 20s. And then I would have moved here as like, I've been there, done that. Now let's relax a little bit. And
hold on, I'm confused, Candice, because you're 24 years old.
That's right. That is correct. So again, like I was saying,
I never hear the woman sneaking in the clubs at 12. That's our Maisel. That's the black girl Maisel, just doing 12 years old, already formulated viewpoints.
Clark doesn't know. I have an ongoing joke that I'm in my 20s still. Like, I think, how long? It was like 5 years ago I was telling people I was 24.
It was longer because I was in LA.
Yeah, I said 5 years ago. It was probably like 5 years ago.
I mean, we celebrated your 24th birthday like 7 years ago.
Well, that's neither here nor there. Back to Clark.
Out of time on that segment.
Well, anyway, we're glad that you're here in Los Angeles with us. So for the stuff I wanted to talk about today, I'm like, which one? This one really quickly before we get into the topics. Somebody tweeted a map. I don't know who created this map, but I found it very funny. It's a map that breaks down and renames all the states. Basically, turns them into a theme instead of what they actually go by. So for example, somebody put, for Florida, they called it chaos instead of Florida. So the whole state is chaos.
Yeah.
This is now racist cowboys. So Texas is someone labeled it
I didn't
racist.
even hear you, but I knew.
You knew what it was.
Yeah.
Racist Cowboys. So if you are Chicago. Okay, so you guys are Chirac. Someone renamed it Chirac. But I would have gone with Obama.
Oh.
I would have just renamed it Obama.
I would have gone with deep dish pizza.
Deep dish pizza. That's a good one. Yeah, Chirac.
It's positive.
Yeah, no, I know. I agree.
Chirac is very like, I'm not going there for vacation.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd rather go to Chaos. I hear they have drink specials.
I hear they have drink specials or giving out early vaccines. Like, no, I don't want an early vaccine.
I don't want no hospital in Chaos ever. Like nowhere where I'm getting fixed do I need it to be chaotic.
Okay, so it was Chicago is Chirac and New York is Jay-Z, which I find hilarious.
Oh.
And now you're gays and vegans, which is California.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh, they have mean versions of both out here.
Of gays and vegans?
Yes.
Yeah, I can be a mean vegan for sure.
Evil laugh.
And Mal, you're from here. I mean, San Diego. So you're just gays and vegans through and through.
Yep. That's, it's beating in my heart. I've got rainbow blood that is fucking organic as hell.
And mine is just, I was, Jay-Z born in till I was 10. And then Ohio, they named Ohio. They left it Ohio, but also included Indiana. So Indiana and Ohio. And it has a question mark after it. So it's Ohio. And then now gays and vegans. So I thought this was fun, but also someone renamed Minnesota Purple Rain. Like, I love it. I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it.
What's Arizona? Arizona
is
Mexicans.
So
get out.
They have New Mexico and Arizona as natives in North Mexico.
What's Georgia? I want to do a bunch of these.
Georgia is, see, they lump them together, so it's kind of, I think it's in a bunch called KKK and incest. I can't tell.
The comedic delivery of incest? Incest?
Oh my.
Yep. And
when someone's reading something for the first time and it's out loud.
Like, never read a word like it before.
Yeah, KKK. It's like, I really never thought about Georgia being part of that. I mean, the KKK stuff and racist stuff for sure, but incest, I don't know if I would give that to them. Like, and I see, so Tennessee right above them is just whiskey. And then they go back to Kentucky, KKK and incest.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, this is quite funny. I don't know. And then Michigan, I don't know what this means, but it says Detroit become human.
Detroit become human.
Yeah, I don't see some of these. I'm like, what? Anyway, let's move on. But yeah, it's funny. I don't know. And again, I would like to give a shout out to the person who created it, but I have no idea who did it. Anyway, let's talk about Kanye's Twitter breakdown. I don't know if you guys were watching this as it was happening.
You have to recap.
Or after you came afterwards. I didn't see it as it was going on, but I mean, kind of. So it's been so long. I mean, he's still tweeting. I just took a screenshot of some shit he just tweeted today.
In case he deletes it.
In case, he deleted, and what's funny is he deleted some of them. He didn't delete all of them. He deleted the stuff where it was personal stuff about Kim and Kris Jenner, and he took those off. But the one that he just tweeted an hour ago says, "I can beat Biden off of write-ins, write-in ballots."
Is he just putting bars up?
The problem with Black folks and bipolar is those are the funniest people.
Yeah.
And being funny goes a long way with Black people.
Yeah.
Those are the most hilarious people in your crew.
You are correct in that assessment. I would agree with that for sure. So it's like you kind of don't want to help him because it's like, because there goes our comedic, there goes our comic relief.
His coherent thoughts now. Ugh. Ugh.
Go ahead.
I'm off Kanye, man. Like I heard that he had the rally, and I had to intentionally like Google it to find the video clips. Like, and I didn't even really want to. I just wanted to know what people were talking about. But he's just so like, he's so far past like the person that I fell in love with as a child, that it's like kind of even depressing. Like I have an old iPod, and some of the old songs, like even the mixtape songs, will come on shuffle, and it's even depressing just to hear it, because it's like this dude that had so much promise is now this fucking out of control, just like crazy person that we enable as a society to just be the caricature of like what's wrong with fucking black people. He represents black people to a certain segment of society, and it's like, fucking shut up, dude.
Right. But and then you think about like, for me, like that doesn't necessarily bother me, only because those people that were thinking like that were already thinking like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like Kanye West, they were already thinking black people are all the same. They probably are the one, they're killing each other and whatever, they're riffraff. So I don't think Kanye was going to sway their minds anyway, but he does, and I feel this way about all artists, which is why I do the style of comedy that I do and am outspoken about so many things, because I do feel like people have a social responsibility to like give back and help and uplift, and especially in the black community for sure. Like, and I feel like he was doing that at one point. Yeah. But now he's not, we saw that when he started supporting Trump to begin with. It was like, why would you do that? And for him, I was just like, is he doing this just to be like that guy that does crazy stuff? Like, I just have to be Kanye right now, so I'm gonna do some shit that they would not expect a black person to do, which is support Trump. So I'm like, I'm not sure if he was just doing that to be like insubordinate and subversive. I have no idea what his intention was, and it clearly also could have been his mental illness telling him to support Trump. I have no idea. We have no idea who this man is anymore.
Right.
Do you think people finally are going to cut Kim Kardashian some slack?
No.
It's still... I just want to know, how deep does this well go? Like, what will take people saying, all right, give Kim a break?
No. Here's my thing is, I think, and I don't know, maybe this is unpopular opinion. I don't know. I've always felt like this, but I feel like she's partially responsible. Like, if you look at his tweets, when he called out Kim, he was like, they're trying to check him into 5150. And Kris Jenner, he called her, I forget what he called her, Kris Jong-il or Kris Jong,
yeah.
And it's like, that to me was telling. Like, those two right there, like, I understand that they maybe want to check him into a mental hospital for his own safety and for his own mental health, for sure. But at the same time, I think that those women have a way of tearing men down. Like, look at all the men that they've been in relationships with. Look at all the men that have been in contact and been in relationships with the Kardashians, from Caitlyn Jenner to the boy Rob Kardashian. Look what happened to Lamar Odom. Look what happened to Chris Humphries. Every dude that has been in relationships with have all of a sudden they lost their minds, or their careers are not what they used to be. And so I question
Reggie Bush.
What is going on over there? What are they doing to these men that makes them lose their minds? Is it in the pussy? What's in there? That is just.
The other words you have no problem with.
Candice Thompson asks the tough questions. Is it in the pussy?
Yeah. And Candice Thompson. Is it in the pussy?
On the next episode of Is It in the Pussy? Look, no, I am dead serious because he tweeted something. Oh, and so there was some of these tweets are cryptic. He tweeted something about like, I'll be damned if North poses for Playboy or some shit like that. And I'm like, what?
The thing about Meek Mill is where I was like, whoa.
Oh yeah, apparently Kim met up with Meek Mill, said she was gonna be somewhere or like doing something, and then went and showed up at like a hotel with Meek Mill. So I don't know, but like
there's a laundry list of black celebrities that Kim Kardashian has to bring down, and apparently it's in the pussy. So she's meeting up with everybody.
You know, I picture her being like, who was it that seduced? Like, is it Medusa? What was she the one that seduced? Like, would draw men in, and then I don't know if it was Medusa or like a siren, one of the sirens. I don't know. Like they get hypnotized because it's like I understand the mindset of a man that like Kim Kardashian wants to holler at you. I get it. If I was a dude, I'd probably fall for it too. So I understand the allure, but at the same time, it's like you gotta look at we're talking about a family that I personally would not trust at all. I would not trust because they've showed us who they are. They will do anything for fame. And so we're talking about from allegedly Kris Jenner being the one that sold that sex tape of Kim to get her famous. So it's like, if she gonna do that for her own daughter, your well-being is not gonna be in mind at all. So you have to consider that. So I'm not blaming Kanye for his situation at all, but I'm like, you had to be aware of what these people were when you went in.
Yeah. I mean, it's America's fault. Let's be serious.
Oh, absolutely. We worship celebrity.
Kim Kardashian has 181 million followers. Mm-hmm. That's how many stupid people are like, I need to hear what this girl is saying.
Wait, am I stupid? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't follow her, but
I still do. I stand by. I do.
It's
just. I understand men following her more than I understand women following her, because men like pretty things. They like to look at straight men. Like to look at like I understand that, but like as a woman, like. She doesn't represent me. I don't think what she represents at all is what young girls should be modeling after. And I don't think that they're just, I don't know. I don't want to say they're bad people, but I don't think that anyone who has that track record of just nothingness is a good person.
Yeah, I think the other thing about Kanye too is like, he's like, we're already aware that he's an egomaniac. Mm-hmm. And could you just imagine, like, personally, any one of us, like, knowing in our minds that we have the power to just say, like, I'm going to run for president, and, like, the actual news will pick that up as a story, is, like, that's another, like, it's just, his celebrity is part of his, like, you know, mental problem.
Absolutely.
It's like he knows that he moves the meter, whether we like what he's saying or not. He moves the meter. So he just like, I don't know. I'm a dad now, so I get frustrated. I'm just like, why is this on my news program?
Because it's the news now. What were you about to say, Clark?
I just don't know if he I forget what I was I was stalling, my bad.
No, like I think for real, like everyone's getting quarantine stupid. Like I was talking to my manager yesterday. Like I went to go see her actually, because she's actually headed to Mexico for like a week to like get away with her like boss and some friends. But so I went to go say goodbye, and like we had dinner together, and we were watching a show. We tried to watch Charlize Theron's movie. I forget what it's called. The Old Guard. The Old Guard on Netflix. We tried to watch it, and we were sitting there like watching it for like 20 minutes like this. And I was like, is there something dumber you can put on? we, I don't know. It's because everything outside is so traumatic right now that I just needed something light. And I don't know, or are we just getting stupider? We ended up putting on like an Indian matchmaking show.
Or a show about not touching lava.
I saw the trailer for that, and I was like, what do we become?
Avoid the lava? Yeah, it's a great show. I watched the whole first season. Of people, it's like food coloring, but it's like these. But it's you'll love this, Candice.
Yes.
Let's talk about this. This is a conspiracy theory because they're like, it's for those who haven't seen it. These teams try to get across basically a pool, and there are all these like Home Alone like obstructions to get from one side of the room to the other. But it's like thematic set design. So like there was one where you had to get on this pyramid, but like there was an all-seeing eye that you could jump on, and like
the Illuminati eye that's in the pyramid.
Yeah, and then there was something about like the aliens did it or something like that on the wall. Like it's all like it's subversive conspiracy. It's injecting you with it.
Well, now I'm gonna have to watch this because I
have to watch it.
No, I'm going to now because like I said, I'm just looking for things that I don't have to think about right now. It's got to the point where it's like I just bought some brain stimulation pills. Like I'm getting stupider.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying nootropics for the first time. They're like a brain enhancement, like memory, like they're just supposed to enhance like cognition, focus, and so like I'm trying to write more also. So it's like, and it's hard, like in all this. So I'm like, maybe I need some stimulant. So I'm trying it, and I'll let you guys know if it's working or not. This is my second day taking them, but I'm still kind of like,
What?
I'm saying, y'all. I took the pills. I took the pills, and I'm still stupid.
And I still can't say rural. Rural.
Yes.
Moving. Okay, I sent some other topics, but I really want to talk to you since I've got two men on the podcast today. I need your advice about something personal. Okay. I'm a woman. And so, Mal, you probably know who I'm about to start talking about.
Okay.
So I started seeing somebody in quarantine, but it's a friends with benefits situation. It's somebody who I had a previous friends with benefits situation with, if you recall that, Mal. If not,
I know who you're talking about.
Okay. So we have since decided to try again. We've had conversations. Anyway, that's irrelevant.
Just for the listeners, it's Kanye West.
He had a little marriage thing. He had to work out.
What they call revenge for Meek Mill.
Yeah.
Payback's a bitch, Kim. Look what Kanye got. Look what he's working with. A braless, light-skinned Mickey Mouse shirt wearing, nootropic taken, can't pronounce rural, the floor is lava watching, split having. Yeah.
Would you give Will Smith the redemption he needs? Over Jada? Would you help him do that?
Of course. I mean, for the story alone. Would I sleep with Will Smith? I don't even have to do it as a revenge story. Like, yeah, I'd sleep with Will Smith just for the story alone. And, just for the potential of like, you can put me in this movie, right? Huh? Is that a possibility? Huh, Will?
For the blackmail leverage?
Just for, yeah, for sure.
That's Will Smith. Do you have any connections in the industry?
Leverage. It's in the pussy.
Although
it's in the pussy.
Leverage. That's what's in the pussy.
that glass ceiling hammer is in the pussy.
We solved it. I guess we can end the podcast. Bye,
guys. So what's going on, Candice?
So the situation, we had a little argument this week, and I just want I want two other black male perspectives on this. Because I have two female perspectives that I got from my two friends that I showed the situation to. And just to so like the situation, we're not like arguing anymore. Everything's fine. But again, just in reflection, I want to see if like something different could have been handled on my end. So basically, this person we were supposed to see each other earlier this week. And then he was like, yeah, I'll hit you later. And I was like, bet. The whole day goes by, nothing from this person. So I text him at like 11, going on a little after 11 o'clock at night. And I was like, just that, like, what's going on? And he was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot.
Man. This was the host of New Negroes, bear in mind. Pulling a second trip. Just joking, everybody.
Someone forgot about Candice again. And so,
untagged.
So I was like, wow. He wrote, I'm sorry. And then wrote, I kind of forgot. And that's what made me mad. Because I was like, it's already understood that you forgot. Like, I already know that. So then you telling me I kind of forgot, it's like, now you're like, I just had to write it too to let you know that I forgot about your ass. And then I was like, wow, that's fucked up. And I was just like, you forgot about me is fucked up alone. But how do you forget about someone during a quarantine? Like, what else is going on right now that you forget that you made plans? He was at a friend's house and had just started like riffing with that person and whatever, just having a fun, and just completely forgot. And so basically the conversation, it got to a point where his argument was like, I don't like, and he didn't say this. This is just me like, what's the word? Inferring, or just like a really succinct way to sum up like what his perspective, but these are my words. He didn't say this, these are my words. He said,
this is your interpretation of what he said.
And, yeah, exactly. And I do think I'm right in his interpretation, in my interpretation of it. It's basically like, we're friends, like I don't have a commitment to you, so like I can do whatever I want. But I still I did apologize. So he's not saying I didn't say I'm sorry. I acknowledge that. But it's like I like, we're friends, like shit happens, I forget shit. And my argument was, well, we're kind of more than friends. Like, I expect a certain level of consideration because our relationship is now, we're not just friends. Like we are friends, yes, but now we have a level of intimacy, which is like, so you have to, for me, be a little bit more careful with like my feelings, because this is where we are. I'm allowing us to have a relationship. We're going to another level in our relationship. So it's like, I would just like a little bit more courtesy and thought behind. Like, you can't compare what you did to me to be like, oh, and this is what he did, is like, I be forgetting shit sometimes when I make plans with my boy, I'll forget, and I'm like, well, I'm not your boy. I'm not your boy. So like, that's where
you didn't do it. whoa, lady. I was in my house last night.
So silly. So my question is, when it comes to friends with benefits, is there, so his response is, we're just like, we're friends. And I'm like, yeah, we are, but we're like here now. Like, there's this gray area. And again, like, I need a little bit more consideration than how you would treat your regular ass friends. Right. And is that true? Am I being outrageous?
No, I think you're well within your rights to expect a certain level of, I mean, it's respect is what it is.
Right.
But also, I think you just have to consider the source, and it's like, it totally makes sense that he would like forget, and that would be the answer. But I think I've had friends with benefits a couple of times, and I think that the way the scales go is like the person that wants that benefit more is the one that is sort of, you know, there's always going to be someone that has a little bit more feelings in it, and then
it's usually the woman.
that's
Let's just be honest. It's usually the woman.
No,
not always.
That's
Not
right.
always.
Really interesting.
Yeah,
It's
not always.
Okay.
So I think that's where the, like, some of what you're feeling is like, maybe you were really looking forward to it because you wanted that, you know, experience and just the community, and it's like it didn't happen and you were let down, and that's why you were upset. And so to him, he was just like, oh, when you guys made the plan, it's like, yeah, that'll be awesome, but also fucking I'm doing this now, and you know, it's like it wasn't on the front of the mind, and that's why.
And I think that is what bothered me, is like, I should be a priority.
Right.
I should be a priority. Like,
but you can't expect to be a priority when it's like when you're not in a relationship.
and that to me is that's the tricky part, because it's like, and that's where I'm talking about like this gray area of like, yeah, we're friends, but I deserve a little bit. There needs to be a little bit more consideration when you're thinking
Right.
about
Or
my
just
feelings.
communication, or just some communication like, yo, I'm not gonna make it today.
That's
Just
and that's
like a
all
text?
I said. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like,
that's what I said. I was like, you could, if you had just said, but the fact that you forgot about me altogether is what I was
Right.
not okay with, because that's happened before. It's happened on both ends.
or just be more like on his end, like he knows you. You guys have been friends for a long time. It's like,
Yes.
it's like maybe, and I'm sure he wasn't lying. He 100% forgot, but
Right. Right.
this is a time where you lie. Oh man. Like,
yes.
or you either lie or you come with just a more apologetic tone, and then it gets, you know, then you move on to the next day without having for you to have conversations with a bunch of people about how fucking,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's
Right.
like, so it's a little bit, I think it's a little bit on both of you, but I understand why you feel the way you do.
Thank you, Clark.
Who contacted who after that happened first?
Okay, well, so this is where it started. Was he had texted me super, either you can consider it late at night or super early in the morning. He hit me at like 3:30 in the morning, the morning that all this was happening. I was asleep, and he was just like, I miss my friend. And so when I had woken up and meditated, did whatever I had to do, I responded back to him and I said, well, let's play later. And so he said, I'll do my chores and then I'll hit you after.
Chores.
And I don't know, he may have had chores before he went over his friend's house. I don't care.
Who called it that?
Chores.
That's my issue. Not that he had to do stuff.
Yeah.
I had to finish. Is this the Brady Bunch? Like,
Oh, the chores. Oh, I forgot to mention he's 16.
He's been on punishment. That's why he forgot. He had to be in the house.
We're actually
embarrassed. He was embarrassed to tell you he was grounded, Candice. He couldn't make it.
he couldn't come out because he had already spent all of his allowance money. That's what it boils down to.
They moved his curfew up.
I did think about that when he sent me. That was like chores. Normally, an adult would say errands, but we're talking about a person who's very childlike. So
Most dudes like, I got to do some shit.
you are correct in laughing at that. It is bizarre verbiage. So, after the whole day had gone by, so he gave me the like I gave him the thumbs up, that'll work, and then the whole day had gone by. That's when I hit him. I text him with the ... what's going on. So even then, it's like even by that time, he still hadn't remembered that he had forgotten. I'm the one that had to initiate.
No, but I mean, like after he said, "Oh, my bad, I forgot." Then who was the first person to reach out after that?
After that, like the text, I was very heated, like during the text exchange, and it basically left off as like, I was like, we're done, that type of situation. That's how angry I was with how dismissive he was being about my feelings. But then I also took into consideration that it's via text. We shouldn't be having this conversation via text. This is definitely something that should be had on the phone. And so the whole next day, I didn't hear from him either. And I was like, so then I hit him and I was like, yo, are we not going to talk about this? And so we did finally that night, the next day or the next evening, we talked about it, and it's fine. But we're in an area, and I don't know, do you guys know people that have successfully been in a friends with benefit situation and it either was successful or they're still cool afterwards, or do they all end disastrously?
They don't all end disastrously.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just have their markers of like, you know, to various degrees of when they're going to bow out before it gets to a place that they, as soon as they feel like we're out of sync, like somebody else swimming the other person,
yeah, they
just pull the cord on it. And that's when we can be friends after that, because nobody went through that emotional toil or whatever. So, on both sides, from me.
Yeah. That makes sense. Go ahead.
I think it's communication, though. It's just like, as long as both people know what's going on and they're being honest, then friends of benefits can start, stop, and then in a healthy way. But I think if one, it only takes one person in that relationship to like not tell the truth and really be harboring feelings to like spoil it to the point where now it's like,
right, now
you can't even salvage the friendship afterwards, you know? It's
right.
Like you can cut off the benefits part. If you communicate, you can cut off the benefits part at any time and maintain the friendship. But if the communication isn't right, then you're playing with fire.
Right, which is any relationship in general.
Right.
I feel like you always have to be open and honest with your feelings. Otherwise, a lot of things, even in marriages, of course, and actual relationships where you're committed to somebody, I have the problem with when dudes, because I've heard this like from a few different dudes just in like relationships, and the guys that don't want commitment, they'll use that, but we're just friends, right? Like as the escape. Like, I don't have any responsibility to you because we're just friends. And I'm like, to me, that's such a fuckboy cop out. It's such like because it just, when you say that, it's like I'm just supposed to excuse any accountability that you have, like,
right,
like a respectable person. And so I'm so sick of that we're just friends. And I'm like, do you not respect your friends? What are we talking about?
Bro, see, that's the thing. We don't. But that's what we're trying to say. If you're not good
like,
friends.
I don't give a fuck about my friends, Candice.
Yeah. I use all this material about them. I never go to their house. I only see them when somebody getting married. I'm not a good friend. Maybe at a funeral. And you want to be a part of that?
Yeah. I know your birthday if Facebook tells me. Okay, we're not friends.
Only if it's first on the list. All that be more shit. If you're more, I don't.
You're more.
Your name better be Allison Anderson.
It has to come up top of the list. Otherwise,
I'm not looking at all 11.
I feel so badly because anyone that I knew just about their birthdays on Facebook, I don't contact at all because I'm not on Facebook anymore. I'm not on Facebook. I never go on there anymore. It's the devil. Also, so is TikTok. Get off TikTok if anyone's on there. I was on there for a hot second, and then I found out all the data they collect from you and how it's like spying from China. I was like, oh, let's delete this immediately.
They were making it very easy to blow up on there.
On TikTok?
The marketing thing. I'm just like, how nobody wants to see a minute of your stand-up. I know that. Why do you have 18,000 followers?
It doesn't make sense. But yeah, no, also they were racist. Like TikTok's racist as hell. Like there were a lot of girls on there doing racist stuff and they never took them down. There was no like regulation. And people started doing some creepy shit with kids on there too. And they were not monitoring that at all. Like I saw one circulating on Twitter. There was a video of a guy. He was a full grown adult, at least 28 to in early 30s year old, and then the little girl that was in the video with him had to be no more than like 6 or 7, and she like lifted up the bottom of his shirt and like looked under it, and then he did the same thing to her, like pulled open her shirt, either her shirt or her pants, and like looked in it and was like, now we're even, and like that was going viral, and I'm like,
that was the TikTok?
Yes. And I was like, first of all, you had to sit down and think of that and write, let me write this bit where I look down a child's pants or their shirt. And so, yeah, but they're getting called out. They've been banned in 2 countries or 2, I think, maybe continents. I'm not sure, but they're talking about banning it here.
A couple places in Asia, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. TikTok is awful. So I got off there. I mean, shout out to those 5 videos that I made. I was in there strong. I danced in one of them. I did a handstand. To my 35 followers, I'm so sorry to disappoint you.
It's like a notes app apology. I'm so sorry to myself.
I'm so sorry. It's not an app for adults anyway.
No.
Before we leave, let's talk about. So Netflix decided to get rid of Chris D'Elia's prank show just recently because of the allegations of his sexual misconduct. You guys have any thoughts on that besides, yeah?
Your friend, Chris D'Elia.
My friend of the show.
Your BFF. The dude you were talking about. This is your friend with benefit. Chris D'Elia.
How did you know? What takes it away? The narcissism, you should have known I'm too old for him.
Oh no. You got
24 is a little bit out of
20. I'm 28 now, Mal. 28.
Oh, excuse me. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. It's brand new information. Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense for them. It's unfortunate. I mean, it's a sad situation for everyone involved.
True.
I feel bad for them.
Except for Netflix. Everyone. I don't feel bad for Netflix, but
no.
Yeah.
No. But
who needs another prank show anyway? Like I saw that and I was like, why are we still doing prank shows? Like the last prank show that should exist is Impractical Jokers. That should be the very.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Done.
I was just thinking about Ashton Kutcher and
Punk. Yeah.
Oh wait, didn't they bring that back on Quibi? It's on Quibi with Chance the Rapper, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know.
Who has Quibi?
That's why I had trouble answering. I didn't get the listings.
Clark was like, I think I got my Quibi vaccine. Who? We're already dealing with COVID and now Quibi?
They want a new Quibi.
Yeah, no, I'm over it. I think more networks need to take a stand when fuck shit like that happens. But more importantly, stop making prank shows.
As a comedian, please.
But I think Chance the Rapper.
But it's like the lowest common denominator of a show that you could do. You know what I mean? And not every comedian is Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle with like smart, funny, thought out stuff. So it's like that's, you can't write a show if you're not smart. So it's like, let's prank some people. That's easy.
And it also is just a very low production cost thing to do too. It's like we don't have to have a studio. We don't have to pay a bunch of like actors, and there's not a lot of talent. It's just these random people that want to be on television anyway. Yeah.
But you don't need a prank show when America's Funniest Home Videos is still alive and well. You know what I mean? It's like,
it is?
if you want to see somebody get hit in the nuts or fucking get scared, just go on there.
Or just watch The Floor is Lava.
Thursdays on Netflix.
I can't
Our
wait
Thursday lineup called In the Pussy. The Floor is Lava.
What's in the pussy? With your host, Candice Thompson. Did you have anything you wanted to add to that, Clark?
Incel? No, I just think it's horrible. But I don't know if everything is kind of altruistic when they do that. Like, is it a press release or is it a PR ad when you say, "Look, we've canceled Crystalia"?
Yeah, no, it's a PR ad for sure. Like, they're not doing that because from some moral standpoint that they're taking it from this looks good right now, and we have to jump on the bandwagon of Crystalia is bad, otherwise we're going to get some, slack for right.
So we can do 100 more terrible things. We'll let people know we did this obvious thing.
This one thing that they should have done. And I don't think they've taken down the other stuff that he's been, like, I don't know, don't quote me on that. I have to check if they've taken down his specials and, like, the shows that he's been on, or, like, the episodes he was in. Probably not, they won't do that. But they could take his specials down. But
I mean, that would be weird if they just took out the episodes that he was in on the shows. Like, and you're trying to binge the show.
And you're like...
It jumps from season 1, episode 3 to like season 2, episode 2, and you're like, wait, what happened?
There's a plot hole in this prank show.
I can't follow this prank show. They deleted.
Wait a minute.
Episodes 3 through 7.
A podcast about a prank show. Okay, but then what happened?
All right, we have to start wrapping up, but I do want to, before we get out of here, I wanted to ask you guys, there was a hashtag that was trending on Twitter. Did I write this today or yesterday? I don't remember. See, nootropics not working yet. My brain pills not working yet. I'll let you know when they kick in.
When did I write this?
When did I write this? Followed by What's in the Pussy.
Both hosted by Candice Thompson.
Your Thursday lineup. It's coming back. So this was trending, a hashtag was trending on Twitter that was hashtag don't do this after sex. So what is one thing that you shouldn't do after just having sex?
As a man or as a woman?
Either.
It would be uncomfortable if someone took a call outside of the bedroom right after sex.
That is suspicious as fuck.
That's hilarious. I gotta take this.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
And it's like,
Can you give me a moment?
It's like, are you reporting that we just had sex? Like, was this a setup? Like, were you set here to fuck me and then report back to somewhere?
Like, is step 1 completed or something?
That's hilarious.
I don't know. I probably do some pretty foul shit after sex.
Have you ever farted after sex?
Have I farted after sex?
Mm-hmm.
No, but I would.
He's like, but during. But during is hilarious.
Just to set the mood right before.
Wait, we're missing something.
He's like, yes, you are missing something. My farts smell like mangoes.
I do, Carlene, I got lucky because Carlene thinks farts are hilarious.
They are.
So, like, I hit her with pull my finger all the time, and she'll pull my finger, and I just let it go, man. I give it whatever it is. I let it go. But
that's
like,
kind of the joy.
Yeah,
not knowing what it's gonna be. Like, this could be a lot of things.
Look at this is my butthole is a magic 8-ball, man. Who knows what you're gonna get? Pull this finger and find out. I've done a lot of. I mean, like I've done more like years ago. Like we would have sex, and then I would immediately start playing video games. Is that bad?
That's great, ain't it?
I think it's nice.
I'm at the age now where it's like afterward, you know, it's like dudes will usually just fall asleep after, depending upon what time of day it is. Like if it's day sex, there probably is no sleep afterwards. But if it's night sex, then yeah, going to sleep is fine. That doesn't hurt my feelings at all. I don't need to snuggle and shit afterwards. I like my own personal space. So the video game thing, I don't think would bother me either, because it's just like, you know, some people smoke a cigarette afterwards. They like to, it enhances that whatever emotion or whatever is flowing through you right now.
Here's a question, and this is for both of you guys. And the answer is no for me. But I've never had sex with anyone or had the urge myself to afterwards have a cigarette. I think that's just a fucking black and white movie thing.
Yeah, that was big tobacco.
Well, I think it's also just, I mean, for smokers. Maybe that's true, but I'm not a smoker, so I don't. You smoke?
Even when I did smoke.
Oh, really?
That was never like. I never, you know what I'm saying?
That probably is just in the movies and television. You know what else they do just in movies and television? Would you ever see somebody walk into an office or into somebody's house and they pick up a picture frame?
Yeah.
No, nobody does that. Nobody comes into someone's house and just picks up.
Nowhere. Office, anything.
Nowhere.
Also, people just walk into other people's houses on TV without saying shit. Without knocking, nothing.
Announcing, no nothing. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that we are set up to believe that doesn't exist at all. I don't have a don't do this after sex. I have a don't do this during sex. For me, I learned probably 5 or 6 years ago, don't make jokes during sex. Like, don't make something funny. Because I thought, just being a silly person, I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. But I talked about, I was in the middle of having sex with somebody that I was seeing at the time. And I made a joke about cheese. Like, something about having gas from cheese. I don't know how I don't even know how I got on.
Okay, Candice, this started out as a joke about cheese.
Something about shitting during sex, buckets of cheese. Something about, he was
bad. I don't even know.
Something about being lactose and having just nachos for the last 4 days.
Something about constipation release.
Is that frowned upon? Is that not sexy? Just give me some feedback, guys.
What did I do? I'm having sex.
I don't remember what I said exactly, but it was a joke in reference to cheese and something about my body, like the way it handled it. And he was like, all right, you're making my dick soft.
Oh my God.
And he immediately started losing his erection. And I was like, oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But now I know. So
I think that's interesting because like Carlene and I will laugh during sex a lot now. I think it's like depends on how long, because I think it's like I have no problem with it. She doesn't.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good to know. It doesn't turn off men.
Yeah, I would love. But I would, Candice, I would love to hear this same story from that dude's point of view and hear what the actual fucking shit was.
Yeah.
Well, you're in luck. He's here. I'm ready for you. If you could come in. He probably wouldn't even remember it. It was so long ago. Anyway, you guys, we have to go. But this has been an amazing time. I'm so happy that you guys were able to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad that this worked.
Yeah, no, I'm so happy you were able to get reception in your car. This would have been really bad if it wasn't.
Damn, Candice.
Would have been a real struggle.
It would have just been me and Clark, and that was.
It would have been.
And that would have been just. We would have just probably canceled the show.
It would have been chaos. Pure chaos.
I love both of you. All right, guys. So thank you for tuning into The Struggle. One more time, if you hadn't subscribed to the podcast, make sure to do that. We're on all podcast platforms. Rate and review us on iTunes. Also subscribe. I'm posting videos on my own personal YouTube, so I'll post that link. And last but not least, pay it forward and tell someone about the struggle if you're listening to this regularly. One more time, Mel, where can people find you?
My website is melhall.com. I'm on Instagram at melhall. I'm starting a new web series called KKK and Incest on my on my YouTube channel, Malhall TV.
I'm not the co-host yet of KKK and Incest, but Lord willing. But until then, Classic Black Dude podcast everywhere, and I'm at the Clark Jones, THEE Clark Jones, on everything. And yeah,
Awesome.
that's that.
Hey. All right, guys. Till next time, stay safe and wear a mask. All right.
Yeah.
Bye,
Later.
guys.
Bye.
Thanks.